Well, good evening. We are so excited to have you with us. I feel honored and privileged to be here too, to just be part of the launch and some really good news story. I don't know about you guys, but I love good stories, and I really hope that you guys that's what you leave with today. We're here to tell you a really great story and some information that once you learn, you can't unlearn. There's some not all information is equal, and sometimes you hear something that forever changes your everything. It's like you almost measure time by before you knew that thing. And not all things are made equal, and particularly information. We are particularly happy tonight to be here as a Bedrock Leadership Group, but celebrating the launch of our good friend and fellow leader, Kat Barber. And so for those of you they're here tonight to support her and to see what she's up to and what she's excited about, what all the fuss is about, I'm super glad you're here, if for only that reason. What else are we doing in life if not to celebrate and be able to know what it is that the people we love and adore are up to and doing. You guys are also for some of you that are here tonight, some guests. I know that we are doing a little bit of a launch for Susie and James and Lisa as well. So if you're guests of those people here tonight, thank you for joining us. There's lots of momentum happening, and it's always really great. It's a magical thing, but we feel like kids being able to share good news. What else is good news for if not to be shared? And so we're doing that tonight. I am going to let Kat say a few words about what she's excited about, what she wants to say to kind of her peeps, and right after that, I'm going to introduce who the people you are privileged to hear share this good news with you tonight. Kat.
Hello, guys. For all of my guests and everyone else who brought guests tonight and my team, thank you for coming to support and thank you for coming on tonight and checking this out. I know it's not always easy to come on at 7 o'clock. If you got kids, you got to put to bed or whatever, whatever else you have going on, but I appreciate you coming here. I am so passionate about this business. I'm so passionate about what it is that we're doing here because this business has changed my life for my husband, for my family, and it's about knowing the future of your health, having actual data about your cellular health and what is happening. And I just think that is so important. And you'll hear about it tonight, but we have a solution for one of the biggest issues plaguing our society today, and that's inflammation. And people are sick pretty much everywhere you look, and that's not normal. And we have a way to help people with that. So I'm so excited and can't wait to hear I can't wait for you guys to hear what we're going to share tonight.
Thank you, Kat. Uh, I just found out too that Rosie's on the call tonight, and Rosie's got some guests here too. So, Rosie, thank you for launching with us. We're so excited to have so much going on. What you guys are going to hear tonight is just a snapshot. It's just a snapshot of a much bigger picture, but almost like a little movie trailer where we want to share enough with you that you're like, wow, I need to see that show or I need to learn more. We hope more than anything else, we know that time is your most valuable asset. So we just want to make sure that that time feels well spent by you. So we're going to do our best. And Tonight, you're going to hear from two people, two of my business partners and become dearest friends in Chastity Marie and Barry Hughes. For those of you who may not be very familiar with direct sales at all, or the social selling circle, in any industry, there's a whole industry that goes on that you might not even know about. But every industry, every sports, there's the 1%ers that people talk about, 1% in their craft, in their field, and with no exaggeration at all. In fact, I'm undermining it. These people you're hearing tonight are 1%ers in their income and their influence, in the impact that they've had in the health and wellness space and in people building space. And so you get to hear from them tonight. So it's with so much honor and privilege that I get to introduce Chastity and Barry with you tonight. And I think that Chastity is going to take us off. So Chastity, take over.
Thank you, Ariana and Kat. Thank you for having me here tonight for something that I feel is one of the most exciting times. And that's when we see new business partners step into a space that they believe in a product and an opportunity, and they decide to commit their name, their partnership, their reputation to it. So I'm excited because I've had the opportunity over the last year to get to know Kat. I'm getting to know some of the other business partners that are coming here, and I know that they are just truly excited about what we're doing. So if you're here with us for the first time tonight, or maybe you're just taking a second look, and I want to frame what we're about to do tonight. And I know that many of us, I know my partners that are on, we believe that this is the most disruptive shift in the health and wellness space in the last 50 years. And now you might say, well, how can you say that? Well, what I know is that with my partners and the leadership that we have partnered with, we have over 50 years in the industry. This isn't just another supplement line. This isn't the next trend or fade, if shiny object thing that is going to fade when the next shiny object gets everybody's attention. But it's test-based nutrition, evidence-based, customized nutrition, personalized for you. It's what your body is saying to you. And so this makes it super powerful, super simple for us to explain because people are tired of guessing what's going on in their body. They want to know what's working. They want to have the real data. And I'm going to tell you, this industry needs truth and transparency. So, people are struggling. They're tired. They're inflamed. They're frustrated with all of the solutions that are out there. So we want tonight to really explain what we're doing, what this momentum and movement is, and how you can be on the front end of that as we get started tonight. So go over to the next slide. I have to say, I have been in this industry for over a decade now, and I had never heard of Zenzino. I thought, okay, this is just another company that they're trying to, I said, revive the dead, come back from the dead. Well, why haven't I heard about it? If I've had success in the industry, I've had the opportunity to lead teams of multiple millions of dollars in sales, and what I found is that Zenzino was a sleeping giant. And actually, I'm kind of glad because now we can be a part of the front end of what's happening here. I'd never heard of them. My business partner says, here's what they're doing. You got to come check it out. When I saw the over 200% growth during a pandemic and after the pandemic, I knew that they were onto something. In 2024, they reached over 205 million in revenue and expanded into over 100 markets. Once again, you're probably thinking like I did, why have I never heard of this company? What I saw was steady and consistent growth year after year. But I also knew that in this industry, in the space that we're in, most companies that are in this social selling space are privately held. Zenzino was a publicly traded that AAA plus ratings, and I could take a deep dive. And after having years of not just success in the industry, but business investments, failed business investments, I wanted to be able to go and look at the deep dive. As much information as I wanted to, I wanted an open book. I wanted to be able to find out where the stability was, where the transparency was, and where I needed to find out just a little bit more. So Zenzino has focused on something that is foundational, that is pivotal. I know that when you're in this space, you have to have something that's different. And when we started looking at how you can take someone's hope of them putting in the right things in their body. How many of us on this call, yeah, I can see some of y'all. I know we're talking to real people tonight, but you've been taking supplements for a very long time. For me, well over a decade, and good quality supplements that I thought I was putting in my body. I hoped it was working. Now I feel like post-pandemic, people want to know the data. Now we can put everything into Chat GPT. We can Google anything and everything. We can find out if someone's being honest with us at the click of a button. And so people started shifting from just the hoping and praying to what do I really believe? I'm going to do the research. And now we are at a pivotal place of not just hoping, believing, wishing, praying. We want to know. We want to know what is our body saying to us. And so that gets us very excited. And I'm going to bring on my business partner, Barry Hughes, because I love how he explains and understands the importance of the omega-6 and the omega-3. So Barry, I'm going to pass it to you.
Well, thank you. And I even remembered to unmute myself, which is a victory rate in itself there. So I just wanted to say thank you, Ariana, for a kind introduction. And of course, Chastity, I'll always love when we get to co-present together. It's always a lot of fun. And I learn a lot from you. And then, of course, the reason I'm here tonight is my very first introduction to this business, Zinzino, that we're talking about tonight, was Kat. And I couldn't have been more happy. First of all, when I chose to start a new business, you have to choose somebody to talk to first. And I chose Kat because number one, she's dedicated. She's dedicated to her team. She's a selfless leader, and she's someone who puts everyone else before herself. And that's the type of people that tend to be highly successful in our industry. She's driven and motivated. She's kind in her approach, the way she treats people. These are the things that attracted me to Kat, that wanted to make her my first overall draft pick into this business model. And I couldn't be more proud of her and all that she's accomplishing. So to her guests, I know Wynn's got some guests here, and I know Jackie's got some guests here as well. Congratulations to everybody making this a successful night tonight. I see we've got 57 people on, and I love seeing so many interested people. Let's get straight to the omega-6s and 3s now. A little bit of my background. I was in pharmaceutical medicine, so this is right in my wheelhouse. I sold prescription medicine for almost 20 years. And the funny thing is, they never talked about omega-6s, omega-3s, and what the ratio of those two in together actually means. And after finding out what I found out, I just cannot understand for the life of me how this isn't a standardized test that every single medical clinic in the world is administering for cheap dollars. In fact, most people would have to see a natural path to find out their numbers. And even then, the ticket of that price is about $500 more than what we're paying, which is incredible. So let's talk about omega-6s. What are they? Well, they're essential. Our body needs them, but our body doesn't produce them, and they largely instigate inflammation in our bodies. If I always look at the omega-6s like a gas pedal, and in Canada and in the United States, sadly, people take the omega-6s and they floor it with the gas pedal when it comes to omega-6s. And it's not your fault. Why is it? Well, virtually everything we eat has got some form of a seed oil attached to it, or some sort of a preservative, or some sort of something that wasn't grown in the ground, or didn't eat what grew out of the ground, and hasn't been treated with massive amounts of preservatives and pesticides, and hasn't had water and all the things that are going on there falling on our rivers and lakes in our growing seasons. It's not your fault. It's just the world we're living in. So, and if you're living in Texas, I can promise you they have more fast food. I think they got a fast food restaurant per person that lives in their area. So can you just go back for me one, Chas? I'll speed up. That was a good hint, but I'll speed up a little bit. The omega-6s are crazy because the foot's on the gas pedal. The omega-3s, they're also essential, and our body doesn't produce it, but they're largely anti-inflammatory. So if the omega-6s are the gas pedal, the omega-3s are the brakes. So we need them. And we can't just go buy them and throw them into our bodies and say, there you go, you're fixed. We have to be conscious of it. So moving on there, Chastity, next slide. Why I think it's important is because when we look at the consequences of an omega-6 to 3 imbalance, they're dire. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to inform you. Look it up for yourself. If you don't believe a word, I hope you don't believe a word what I have to say. What I hope you do is that you go to your Google, or you go to your Chat GPT, or you go to whatever search engine you like to use, and you type in, what is the significance between a balanced omega-6 to 3 ratio, or what is the significance of an unbalanced omega-6 to 3 ratio? I challenge you. I would also challenge you to say, well, what's wrong with you right now? If you're not what's wrong with you in the sense of there's anything wrong with you, but what's ailing you? What's not feeling good about you right now? As Kat said, inflammation is the precursor to virtually every disease we have. It is the leading example. It's at the front of the line. Inflammation's carrying the flag and leading everybody down on a march to lack of good health. Sadly, the States, you're above 25 to 1 on average. Sadly, Canadians, we're doing a little better. We're, from what I'm seeing, most of the people that are testing at about a 15 to 20 to 1 ratio. What does that mean? That means you've got 25 more percentage points of omega-6s flooding your body and your cells than you do omega-3s. And that's not a good ratio to have because they're highly inflammatory. So any way you're feeling pain, disease, suffering, it's likely because you've got inflammation. Next slide. Now, we've done 1.63 million tests around the world. And here's what we know. We already know this, that 99% of the people that take an omega-6 to 3 test, by the way, we're going to show you how to get those tests here in no short order here. 99% of the people are failing in North America, 99 in Africa, 95 in Europe. And why Europe? Well, they buy their meat and produce and vegetables basically daily because they don't have big fridges there. They don't operate the same way we do. They walk more places, they're more health conscious. And I think they eat smaller portions of food that's grown out of the ground and animals that have eaten what's grown out of the ground. You look at South America, you look at Asia, 98%. The test results show that 6.2 billion people are out of whack when it comes to our omega-6 to 3s. 100% should take this test. 100% of the people, every single person you know, including children, should take this test. Why? Well, children are eating chicken nuggets. That's why. And they're eating chicken nuggets and fries and dinosaur nuggets and fries and hot dogs and pizzas. And, you're running from one sport to the next. You're running from one activity to the next. And you're stopping on the way and trying to find the most health conscious thing. But if you throw Subway at them and you look at all those meats and all the nitrates and all the oils and all the other things, it's not healthy either. Jimmy John's not healthy. Sorry, folks, Chick-fil-A, not healthy. None of it is healthy. So Chastity, I'm sorry, the waffle fries are not healthy, but 97% of their in the globe are failing this test. 99 in the USA are failing this test. And when they take our oil, 95% pass. That's big. Go ahead, Chas. So I have this question to ask you. If there was a test that could accurately predict the potential future health outcomes that you might have, if there was a way to predict your health future, would you want to know the result of that? For me, it was a big yes, absolutely. Because when you hit 60, and I'm 60, health used to be money was the most important. Then we went to time was the next most important. Then we went to health. Money, time, health. And then you hit 60 and then like a magic wand goes and it reverses it. It goes, okay, health is now the most important. Time is the next and most important, and money falls last. Because your money's no good to you if your health sucks. Your money is no good to you if you can't do fun things with the money, or you can't go places and see the world and create circumstances. So would you like to know your test? Or in some cases, I've got friends who've lost a partner through the night's sleep because they had a heart condition they were unaware of. Would you want to be that spouse? And I know Chastity's got some experience in this area, and I'm sure she'd be happy to share with you. But, this isn't a good story, you guys. You want to know this. So do you want to find out your result? That's number one. If you do, great. Here's how to get it. In Canada, we have a balance oil test. See that little test in the balance oil? That's what you're going to get. It's going to cost you $166 on that order. Normally the kit, the test alone is that, but we're going to throw in the oil for you. Well, it's on a subscribe and save, meaning every month you're going to get a bottle of oil. Now, we're not all one size fits all. So Chastity's a little bitty thing, and I'm twice the size of Chas. So I take twice as much oil as Chas. Don't worry, it tells you exactly what you're supposed to do on the bottle itself. So you don't need to worry about that. In the States, it's $115. Actually, our prices are a little off. They went up a couple bucks each because 2026, gas prices, all the other things, the world is not getting cheaper. But the fact is, it doesn't matter how expensive the world gets. Your health doesn't care what the cost of health is. Your health only cares that you do something about it. And that's why we are urging you to tell you and everybody you know to take this omega-6 to 3 ratio test and find out how far off you are. And then you take our test. 5 months later, in month 5, our company will send you a free test, and then you will be able to retest and come up with some great numbers and show you that you can balance yourself and you can remove a lot of inflammation. I'm in exhibit A and B and C all together because I have neuropathy and I'm in a lot of pain because of that, because of surgeries, because of my athletics. I took this oil and now I can tell you I am feeling the best I've felt physically in a long, long time. Here's some typical results. So you can see this result tested at 28 to 1, and now you can see they're semi-balanced at 3.2 to 1. This is my sponsor, Nathan Goldberg, who actually showed me this business opportunity Chastity mentioned earlier. These are his results. I haven't tested again, but I know Chastity has, and I know a few other people have. And this is why our oil is so good, compared to the other ones. A lot of you might be saying, well, I'm already on a fish oil. I'm already on an omega-3. I've already taken this stuff. Do you know that it works? Do you 100% know that the fish oil that you're burping up all day works? And I can tell you it's not working. 99% of the people taking this test are failing it, even the ones on omega-3 fish oils. They're failing it. Why? Because you're not getting the right quality of fish oil and you're not getting the polyphenols to support it. Over time, our oceans and our fish, we've all evolved. And there's not the polyphenols in it. So our companies figured out, don't just add the fish oil, add the pre-harvest olives to this. What do? 60% of it's fish oil, 40% of it's pre-harvest olives. It helps out with lower absorption, high levels of oxidation, lower potency, short shelf life, improperly purified, generic dosing. This is what traditional fish oils give you. Ours are exactly the opposite of that. It's not a one-size-fits-all model here. We have instructions for what you need to do. 60% wild-caught fish from the northern seas of Norway and the purest waters of the world. Pair that with 40% pre-harvest olives, where you get all these polyphenols, are a massive missing link to why those traditional fish oils don't work. Next one. Results in 120 days. I already said it, but we start you off. You take your test, you mail it in. It goes to this lab in Norway that Harvard sends their results to, the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, Cornell, Oxford, all these major health teaching institutions around the world are sending their key indicating health and blood results to this lab in Norway that is a third-party lab. Don't worry, you send a number. You don't get they don't know who you are. They don't have any track to track you. You get a personalized number just for you. You log in with your number and you see what your results look like within 3 weeks of sending the test results in. 120 days later, we retest you. You go from failing the test unbalanced to balanced in weeks or days, 120 days. We know this works. We just had a guy who cheated and he tested. He was at 42 to 1 out of Nebraska. Tested 8 weeks later, 2.9 to 1. And he eats at Burger King, self-admittedly, 5 times a day. So I'm going to ask you, we should all be getting tested, but is it the right timing for you? That's what this really means. Is it the right time for you? I'm going to pass this over to Chastity again now.
Thank you, Barry. And as you mentioned, the right time is now. Unfortunately, there's things that I found out on an autopsy when the love of my life fell over dead at the age of 52, cardiac arrest, 3 clogged arteries at 98%. So it has now become for me a moral obligation to get everybody's favorite finger or middle finger, whichever you want to hand over to me, but it's become a passion project. And I steal those words from my partner because he said it on a call, a business opportunity call, and I said, I felt that deeply because right now is the time. Right now is the time that we're getting older, we're getting wiser, and when we know better, we do better. But it's not just us having this conversation. You can Google, you can chat GPT, you can Grok, you can use any tool out there, and people are talking about inflammation. They're looking for anti-inflammation solutions. The omega trend, if you will, it's been around for a very long time. But what's happening now is people are paying attention. People are listening. And so you look at some of the most publicized research papers, the most familiar articles and documents that are out there, and they're talking and they're having this conversation. So why do I say Enzino was a sleeping giant? Because they hadn't rose to the time of the time is now. Now the awareness is becoming in our face every day. People are going back to asking the question, what is happening inside of my body? I love everybody else's results. I love that we could see results with the click of a button, but that doesn't do anything for us. And like I said, we don't have to be people that wait until an emergency to find out things that we can know right now. So if the time is when I am asked that question or I ask that question, the time is absolutely right. we are positioned with a company that sets us up for success. I understand in this business after a decade of success that you have to have a product that no one else has. You have to be the first to market. You have to have a consumable product that people are ordering month after month. And with this data, I tested, and some of those little snide remarks that Barry's making, it's because he came to Texas and spent some time with me for a week and drove up and down our main street, and he was blown away that there was 22 fast food restaurants in just a 5 mile radius. And when I said to him, "Well, Barry, we're eating, we're eating clean, we're eating Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's God's chicken. It's holy chicken, you know?" So, and he said, "No, that's not gonna fly with me, young lady." And my test came back 37-1. I said, "I'm walking around half dead." And Barry has now coined me as the person that never waited for Christmas to open my presents. And so I did test a little bit sooner. That's the benefits of being a partner, that you can have that little test. Guys, I am happy to say in under 120 days, I am a 5-1. And yes, I'm still eating some of those things I shouldn't. But what I know is that people want to continue their path and they want to see results. So they set a foundation for us. They gave us a model that absolutely works and gives results, data-driven results. And we're only up from here. I could not believe when I heard how many people, and I know that number has kind of been, as we start to gather data and things start to move really fast, we know there's more now than 5,000 reps in the North American market, but just by a little. And that excited me because that said, if I can be on the head of and on the beginning of momentum, that means a solid foundation and future for my family. You can see right here how many tests have been done. Very few. So if you have a product that nobody else has, it's a consumable, nobody's heard of it, it's data driven. And here's the other part. I don't even think Barry mentioned it. If you pass your test and you continue to take that product correctly and you don't improve your results, we're giving you your money back. There's absolutely nothing at risk here except for you wasting one more day not knowing your number. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to thank everybody that joined us here for our presentation and for the health side of it. You got on, you supported your friend, you wanted to know a little bit more about this test. You know, are they going to take it through an IV? How does this work? I got to cut off my arm. 2 little simple dry blood spot tests, and that's it. So if that's what you joined us for tonight, we want to respect your time. We know that people are busy, and we're going to cut for about 30 seconds and let you head out. But if you are just a little bit curious, my friend, on how this could leverage your future finances, I'm going to challenge you to stick around. We're not going to be very much longer. I even sneak peek. There's only about 3 or 4 more slides. But I can tell you, as someone that has had a foundation in this space that has allowed me to be a full-time mom, a full-time grandmother, abuela, and work from Wi-Fi anywhere and adjust my calendar and schedule, I'm going to tell you, you might want to stick around for just a little bit more time. All right, Barry, is this where you do like the violin part as, people start
Well,
to
I could
exit?
sing and entertain people, but I don't think you guys want that. And I could also, there's lots of things I could do, but I think we just,
You know what?
enjoy
Let's just get started because I love to talk about my future. And now that I know my number, I'm not playing small. It's black or white, all in. So Barry, let's just start off with talking about this business.
Well, let's go. Thank you for those who are staying. I just noticed not too many jumped off. So you're interested in learning more, and I love that. Getting your product for free. Who doesn't love free, right? And I did say Todd ate at Burger King 5 times a day, only on some days. This is a big guy who played football for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He eats 5 times a week at Burger King. His brother owns the Burger King. Okay, so free food is good food, is what he says. I go, no, bro, it's not. He says, well, now that I got my oil, I can eat it, and it still balances me out, which I don't like to tell people. But how would you like to get your products for free? See, whether you're a customer or a business partner here, you can get your products for free. Simply subscribe to a Z for F kit, Z for free. And all that means is you're going to go find 4 premier customers ordering a premier product. Really quite simple. In fact, most people here buy 4 products themselves. For my wife and I, we're 3 products, 2 oils for me, 1 oil for my wife. Plus, I like that skin serum. So we have that. So she likes it. I like it for my aftershave because it's unscented. And honestly, we just found horrible news that my daughter-in-law, future daughter-in-law, has got a bad allergy to any scent, and it's anaphylactic. So I'm getting used to honoring that and going, no scents in my house is sooner or later, which is going to be hard for us. But you guys can get it for free. And all you have to do is what you should do anyway. How many people did we say earlier should be tested? 100% of the people we know should be tested, even your children. Remember, your children are eating the chicken that you buy at the chicken store that's being fed corn and soy to finish the process off. Your beef, unless you're buying it from the cattle guy, is selling you beef that has been finished with corn. So get your product free. It should be easy because most people want to know, especially if you're in your, let's just say, a little more seasoned than you were at 30 to 40. Now you're maybe a little older than that. Maybe you're more seasoned and you understand the importance of health and being more proactive and holding yourself accountable to health a little more. Let's talk about earning money. It's nice to get free, but you know what's better than free is earning money by sharing information. And I love the way our beautiful host Ariana put it to start. She told me something the other day and it stuck with me, and I've been really using this as my opener, which is I learned something. And I find that's highly impactful. Well, I learned that because I do feel categorically, compelled to tell everybody this, because my dad died at 54 of a heart attack. So Chastity shared hers, I'll share mine. My dad died at 54. I didn't have a dad. My kids didn't get to know their grandpa because we didn't know that he had blockages and problems. And it would have been nice to know. But now I get to tell people because I want to and I care about them. And I get to make a little bit of money, some money, or a boatload of money, life-changing millions of dollars, like Chastity the Baller Morales used to at her previous company. So we know that you can do this, guys. Lucrative extras. You can earn a car phone or a cell phone bonus, a car phone. I used to have the old bag phone. $230 a month for a car phone bonus. These are American numbers, guys. In Canada, it's 200 euros a month is what you'll make for your cell phone bonus. And that's not a huge business to get here to get that. That's more than my entire cell phone bill, just so you guys know. 200 euro. What about a car bonus? I would love a car bonus, and we now have one with Bedrock, and it's 1,000 euros a month. Well, 1,000 euros a month in Canada is almost $1,500. That buys you a really nice car, right? So if you're a Canadian, that's good. And in America, we pay about 30% less for your vehicles than we do. So it's about the same. So you $1,000 US buys you a really nice rental, like gets you a really nice car payment. Like I think you do really well with $1,000. Shares of Zinzino stock. If you currently don't have a pension, if you just put some effort into here and you hit a rank that's 4 from the top of the whole company, if you hit that rank, you can get 200,000 euros in bonus money in stock. They're going to give it to you in Zinzino stock. Yes. Zinzino is a publicly traded company. Why should you have confidence in that? Because it's publicly traded on NASDAQ Europe. That's saying something. They have to publicly scrutinize their record books, their financials every 3 months and report it publicly. So you never have to guess, is this company going downhill? Is it lying? Is it telling us mistruths? Their literal life depends on being truthful to the consumer to survive in this marketplace. So I love that we have the security of a company that's on NASDAQ. Team commissions. So you get to make a pension here. Team commissions. You can make 10 to 15% off your entire network of online stores, meaning you can have as many online stores as you want. What if your business became the Amazon of Zinzino and that you had all your friends and family ordering the oil? Because why? Because they can go ahead and eat their Chick-fil-A and keep in balance and not have to worry about whether or not they're going to have massive inflammation due to their food choices. Title bonuses. Yes, you earn titles here. We try to help you earn titles here. When you earn a title, you get a raise. You don't have to ask for a raise. You get one because your performance is recognized. Think of that model. How many of you guys, if you did something special at work, your boss just comes to you voluntarily and goes, hey, by the way, Darlene, we're going to give you an extra $2 an hour. because you're just all around a good worker. That ain't happening. It is not happening. They're not doing that proactively. Here, you don't even got to ask. The computer just generates the check for you. Congratulations. Starts at 150 and goes all the way up to, yes, you read it right, 120,000 euro bonus. Customer acquisition bonuses help partners get customers. They earn, you earn. So we get a customer acquisition bonus somewhere between 10 and 30%. We get paid on our customers. Mentoring matching bonus. So remember I said I personally sponsored Kat. She's part of my lineage, part of somebody I'm trying to work. It's like a franchise. She's one of my franchisees. By helping her build a successful franchise, I can get up to 25% check match. Well, I helped a couple people in my last company make more than $50,000 a month. Some of them closer to $100,000 a month. When I help those people do that, if I got a 25% check match on that, that's $25,000 a month just for helping somebody reach their goals. Does that sound like a good plan to you? Help somebody reach their goals and you hit a massive check for helping somebody when we should be doing those things without getting paid, but this company wants to pay you for them. And a volume commission, 1 to 4% of weekly volume bonuses. Those are for the top 1%ers who really are driven, want to build a global masterpiece of an organization and get paid by it. So these are some of the other ways we can get paid here. Guys, I'm going to close it with this. We are going into an unprecedented time here where we all know that there's a war going on. We all know that the world has not been an easy place over the last 10 years or so. We know this. These aren't me making it up. These are facts. It has been a tough world. We've had massive inflation. Gas prices are up again right now because of the war. We've got all kinds of economic instability. We've got AI breathing down our necks, and who knows how long our jobs are going to remain jobs because AI might take them over. There is no better time for you to start paying attention to the world indicators that are yelling at you to have a side hustle, to have a plan B. If you're living in Canada, it's an $8,000 taxable benefit alone just by having a side hustle. Not sure what the numbers are for the States, but in Canada, it's 8,000 bucks. Every coffee you're going to have, every restaurant meal you're going out for, 25% of your house's office space, your cell phone, a portion of your car, your laptop that I'm shaking right now. That is all a taxable benefit from you. You are crazy to not have a personal home-based business because it's a free $8,000 you're just giving away. And I'm going to end it there. And thank you all. I get passionate. I get excited because I know what it means to help people in a meaningful way. And this has a heartfelt attachment to it where we can test and know and think about how many diseases, how many unfortunate outcomes can we prevent? And then to say, well, we can pay you for doing this, for just telling people what we should be doing anyway. I'm blown away. I'm excited that I was and honored that I got the chance to speak to Kat's audience. And I know Jackie and Wynn and some of the other guests that are on the call. We welcome you. We hope that you come back and see us again real soon. And if you have any questions you need answered, please hit us up. We're happy to have private calls with each of you. And for this, we're going to pass it back to Kat, aren't we, to close this whole thing up, Chastity?
Well, I want to say thank you, Barry. What an honor it is to always be able to present with you, Ariana, and our special guests. And I always say, go and create an emergency fund in your health and in your wealth, so that when it's not if life is going to happen, we hope and pray that it's not on a traumatic impact, but when you have an impact to your finances or your health, do you have a reservoir of time freedom? Do you have a reservoir of finances so that it's not a catastrophic impact? And that's what we're giving you here today. You get to decide. You get to see all those color wheels of how you can make money. You know, if you're somebody that loves to mentor, you're somebody that loves to get customers. You're that person that's sharing the latest sale or the latest marketplace or TikTok shop thing. This is something that you can do in the nooks and crannies of your life, or you can do it at a full time. So thank you guys for being here. Get back with the person that invited you. Kat, thank you for inviting us into your space. And I would like for you to close us out and finish us off for the night.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing everything. And I just want to say thank you to all of my guests and any other guests that came tonight. If you're in my circle, you know I'm very passionate about things that come across my plate. And this one really hits home because I did this test and it showed that my risk of cardiac sudden death was very high. And I had kids over the age of 41. I have two other businesses. I have too much to live for that kind of nonsense. And my husband, his test was he was full of inflammation. And it wasn't if he was going to get sick, it was when he was going to get sick with some sort of something, probably diabetes. And I can't tell you that I can't survive without my spouse. And so when I found out about this, I needed to test. I needed, well, my husband, I want my parents tested. I want my sister tested. I want everyone that I love to take this test so they know for themselves what their risk of cardiac death is, what their risk of inflammation is, because inflammation leads to everything else. They have normalized our society. Oh, people have diabetes and arthritis and psoriasis and eczema and blah, 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 blah. There's sickness everywhere, and people are just like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like they pass it off like it's no big deal. I'm sorry to say, but that's not normal. It is not normal that everybody is sick, and our food system is making us sick. And we have a solution to the number one thing that is causing people to be sick, and that is inflammation. With a simple balance oil that can get your omegas back in balance. And we didn't even talk about the cellular health. If your stuff is out of balance, your cells are not working properly. They're not absorbing nutrients. So we're not asking you to switch off your other supplements. Keep taking your whatever else you're taking. But I can tell you that if you take this test and your cell membrane health is not good, you're not absorbing your nutrients anyways, and your supplements are getting peed out. So let's see if your other stuff is working too. Anyway, so I would like just to ask Kyle real quick to share his personal story, just for a testimonial, and then we'll let you guys go. But I appreciate that you came, and please follow up with whoever invited you. And if you're one of my guests, if I don't get to you tonight, I got little kids upstairs. I will get to you over the next couple days. So Kyle, if you want to share your story and how this has impacted you.
Thanks, Kat, and thanks, Chastity, Barry, and Ariana. That was incredible presentation. Yeah, so I've known Kat for 10, 12 years. And anyway, once I was actually really sick in December. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I had kind of maxed myself out, and over time, I just kind of ignored some signs. And, I was actually in not critical condition, but in pretty rough shape. I had some bleeding from places. I had been run down on Christmas Day. This is the part where I really got scared. On Christmas Day, I woke up at 6 a.m. and to go. I'm a single dad of an 8-year-old, now 8-year-old girl, and she woke me up. She was super excited to enjoy Christmas, and I had a hard time getting out of bed. So I went down, did the thing, did the gifts. I had no energy to be excited anyway. And then I went to bed and for the entire rest of the day. And that's when it really hit me. And then, a few days later, I went to get some tests done, and they mentioned some ways to get better. And that wouldn't have worked. It probably would have caused me more issues anyway. That scared me to the point where I was like, hey, I'm 37 years old. And this had just come across my plate right before then. I didn't realize the impact it would have. I took the test. Actually, the day I got the test was January 1st. I went outside and there was a box there on New Year's Day. And I looked at it and I honestly was scared to even take it because I was terrified of what it would show. So on January 4th, I did it and I took my first shot of oil, and I'm glad I did. And I talked to Nate, who Barry mentioned, after about 5 days, because I couldn't really put a sentence together. Like my body was shutting down. I couldn't get up the stairs, all that kind of stuff. And my muscles were like paper, I guess. But I was honestly terrified because it hit me pretty quick. And he told me to double my dose. It's not going to hurt me for the oil, and then take an extra Viva Plus every day. And within 4 days, I noticed this was a substantial difference. I was about 6 to 8, probably 6 hours where I was awake throughout the day. And then I'm going to fast forward now. On the 30th of January, I received my test, and it was 30-1. And even then, I still had some issues. But I was feeling a lot better. My concentration was still a little bit off. But I can tell you this, and I've told him probably 30 or 40 people in the last like 6 days that I've never felt as good as I do today. I don't remember feeling this good. My nervous system is literally calm, and yeah, it's a gift, and that's I'm grateful for Kat and everybody on this call, and like Kat said, my whole family is tested. My aunts, my uncles, everybody. They were the first ones to get it because I love them dearly, and just grateful for this and to be a part of it and be able to share what this has done for me here. So thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, so reach out to the person that brought you here. And just a last thing, I will say I already had two businesses, so I didn't need a third one. But when this came across and I have two little kids. So when this came across my path, I was like, but when I understood the science of what we're doing and I did the test and I got the results, I was like, there is no way I am not sharing this with everybody under the sun. And this is a brilliant business opportunity because everybody is sick, everyone has inflammation, and we have a solution and nobody knows about it yet in North America. So if you are looking at, a way to create more income for yourself and to have a future, this is definitely something you might want to look at because this company had 81% growth last year, and it is like nothing I've ever seen. And I've been in this space for, I don't know, 15 plus years, and I've never seen a compensation plan like this, a team like this, a culture like this. Everyone they literally pay you to help your people. It is incredible. So just wanted to add that on there, but I'll close off to respect your time. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. And if you're my guest, I will follow up with you this week. And anyone else that came, please reach out to whoever brought you here, okay? All right. Bye, guys. And thanks, Bedrock team. You guys did an amazing job. I'm so happy.
Thanks, Kat.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Take
You can
care.
unmute and say bye if you like.
Thanks again. It was great. Thank you.